You've always seemed to have done things against the grain.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Dorian does the things his way, and I always ask why. That's a big thing with me. Why? Squats are the best things for legs. Everyone says, why? Let me try to do something else. I did believe that until squats, I damaged my hip, so I had to try and do something else, and I discovered you can do it another way. You don't need to do squats. And everybody was training 6 days a week and 20 sets and all this stuff from the Arnold area. And it didn't make sense to me. I read Arthur Jones's writings, who's the guy that built the Nautilus machines, and looked into the real science of muscle building and so on. And Mike Menser, of course, that carried on that high intensity training. So it made logical sense to me. And then when I applied it in the gym, and keeping notes and so on, I got very good feedback from day one. I noticed that if I trained more often, or if I increased the volume in the gym and the time in the gym, I stopped progressing. I stopped. Okay, so let me take a couple of days rest and go back to a more abbreviated routine, only training 3 days a week, no more than an hour, boom, start growing again. So there's the feedback.
3 days a week.
3 days a week I was training initially when I first started training, because I was working a job as well. Right. And I couldn't recover training more often than that. That's what the feedback showed me. So I listened to it. Later on, training for Mr. Olympia, I was training 4 days a week. And maximum 1 hour in the gym.
Wow.
But people struggle with that because they don't understand the key. The key to stimulating muscle growth is the intensity of the exercise and the fact that you're progressively overloading and you're giving your body something that it's not used to and it needs to react. Right. Muscle growth is just a reaction to a stress that the body's trying to protect itself from. So you're giving it stress. You're making it lift these weights and work out of its normal capacity. So now it's going to try to build itself a little bigger and a little stronger to cope with that stress in the future. So that's very basically the process.
That's 3 to 4 days a week, and that's quite incredible. You know, looking at some of the training programs that you get now, and I guess you've built the biggest. I suppose, you know.
Proof's in the pudding, as they say.
That's right, 4 days a week. So there's a good lesson there.
Because I was going into the gym and absolutely hammering with intensity, right. Not with volume, with intensity, okay. To absolute failure, positive failure, negative failure, static failure, absolute failure, destroying the muscle. Then you need to go and rest.
Right.
Yeah, this is the process. Stimulate, overload, recovery. After recovery, overcompensation, growth. Okay? So if that recovery period is not sufficient, you're not going to grow. If that stimulus period is not sufficient, you're not going to grow. So there needs to be a balance between all that intensity and recovery period. So if you're going in and you're training legs and you're hammering your legs and you're breaking them down and you're damaging them and they're sore, right? And then 4 days later, you go and train them again and they're still sore and still damaged, how are you going to get anywhere? You're not really getting anywhere. Right. Or you're getting, you know, your body, as I said, year and a half, whatever you do is going to work. And after that, then you need to get smart about what you're doing.
And would that apply to, say, you know, someone like a female that just wants to get, you know, a nice bikini body, or a guy who just, you know, wants to shoot, you know, sharpen up a bit? Would those same principles apply to anyone? If you want
to build muscle, this is the best way to do it.
Right.
If that's your goal. So if you're a lady that wants to build muscle, which will help you lose body fat, by the way, ladies, yeah, because when you build muscle, it's like putting a bigger engine in your car. Just sitting there, ticking over, it requires more fuel. So instead of starving yourself to try to lose fat, what's going to happen when you starve yourself? You generally lose muscle as well. So now your metabolism is getting slower. Right. So that's why you just get into this whole cycle of losing weight, putting weight back on, destroying your metabolism. If you're a lady and you want to lose fat, build the muscle. Use weight training to build the muscle, and then you will be burning the fat because you require more calories. You put a bigger engine in your car. So whether you're a woman, a man, Doesn't matter, the same principles apply. What will be a variable factor in there is your recovery ability. So somebody may be able to train legs and be fully recovered and able to go in there after 6 days or 7 days. That's about average, I would say, if you train really hard. But somebody else might have a poor recovery system, genetically. So they need to rest a bit longer. Somebody else might be a super recoverer, and he might be able to train more frequently. So there's a variable factor in there that you have to take into account. A person's metabolism, their lifestyle, are they taking performance-enhancing steroids and things like that, which enhance your recovery? All these factors need to be addressed. But in any case, that's the structure. Stimulus, recovery, growth. So it needs to be sufficient stimulus. There needs to be sufficient recovery period and materials to build with, i.e. your diet, and then your body can get bigger and stronger. So that's a basic format.
Yeah, but for the average person who just wants to get in shape, what most people would in shape, then you're probably doing more is probably not going to help you at all.
Less is better, apart from effort and intensity.
The effort.
So average person, split your body into 3 workouts, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but non-consecutive days. Train your whole body over 1 week, and that's a good starting point.
Right.
Maybe you can do more, maybe you can do less, and you need feedback to see that. So if you've got a trainer, that's what you should be doing, or if you're doing it yourself, make notes. See, are you progressing, or once you get to be very advanced, you've almost reached your potential. So these gains are going to be very, very small. But I'm talking about somebody that's not at that stage, first year or second year of training. If you've trained for a month and you've seen 0 progress on your weights, on your reps, on everything, what's going to happen next month? Exactly the same, right? So if you haven't progressed for a month, something needs to change. Don't keep doing. You're going to keep getting what you're getting, right? If you don't progress in a month, do exactly the same the next month, you'll get exactly the same results, 0. So you need to reassess things if you're not progressing. Right. Something needs to change. Maybe it's your diet, maybe you need more rest. Whatever that factor is, you need to look at it and try and find out what it is. The main thing that I hear from people is, I don't have time. Yeah. And I say to them, if I had you for 45 minutes twice a week, I will transform you. That's all I need. As long as you do the homework, eating properly and resting and all this stuff, I'd do probably 10 minutes interval cardio like that, and 30 minutes fast-paced to failure weight training. Right. And that would probably work much better than going in 4 or 5 times a week and piddling about. Yeah. And being in the gym for, I went to the gym, training for 2 hours. No, you wasn't training for 2 hours, because if you train with me, training, you will be begging to get out of there after 30 minutes. Yeah. And I won't allow you to have your fucking phone with you either.